I hold a diamond ring the size of a pigeon egg. When you are about to propose to your girlfriend. But he unexpectedly discovered that his girlfriend Sophia was snuggling in someone else's arms. After I discovered, Sophia actually told me to get out. Don't interrupt my conversation with the movie star. I'm standing at the door. Listen to the girlfriend's gasps inside. Gritting my teeth, I took out my phone and said to the person on the other end, starting today. Stop all Sophia resources for me. The fun starts right away. If you like it, remember to click to subscribe. On the other end of the phone, my assistant heard me. I feel a little bit incredible. Slow down for a while. The assistant asked again, Master. Are you serious this time? I held the phone and yelled at the assistant on the other end, Chow, do you need to repeat what I said several times? Immediately. Do as I say. Soon. The assistant told me about the situation. Told my parents. My mother heard that I had finally decided to break up with Sophia. Her eyes were wet. But what about the father? But I sighed and said, don't be happy too early. Your son is possessed by Sophia. As soon as Sophia speaks, your son has to lick it back. Mother listened. Just sigh. Early the next morning. I just got up. The assistant just called. He told me. Last night, I followed my instructions. We have sent letters to many partner brands. As soon as their process is completed at 1 p.m., these partners will issue an announcement to stop cooperating with Miss Sophia. Master, if you change your mind, I can still notify partners to cancel the announcement before 1 p.m. The assistant still thinks this time is the same as the previous times. I was just angry for a moment. I can change my mind at any time. Just at this moment. My other cell phone, which I kept for Sophia, started ringing. I picked up the phone and listened. Sophia actually shouted on the phone. Where did you die? Why don't you come over here and give me and the actor some clothes and food? Do you want to starve us to death? Hearing Sophia's tone, I didn't even think about it. I hung up the phone right away. Then Sophia called again. Yell at me. Michael. How dare you hang up on me? Come here in 10 minutes. Do you believe what the movie king says? Make you unemployed in the circle. Hearing Sophia's words, I really want to laugh. The actor named David. It is indeed quite popular in the circle. There are also many resources. But in the end, David is just an actor. And me. As the only heir to the Michael family group. Michael Entertainment. It is also the top entertainment company in the industry. Just one word from me. David, the movie star, should kneel down and apologize to me. After I hung up on Sophia again. Finally made up my mind. I said to the assistant on the other end of the phone, listen to me. At 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I want all the brands that Sophia endorses to announce their termination at the same time. Good. I'll follow up immediately. Assistant Dashi. I think I'm really determined this time. 10 minutes later. My phone rang again. This time it was a voice message from Sophia. She almost yelled at me on WeChat, Michael. You are fired from today. The actor also spoke. No one in the industry is allowed to hire you again. Hearing Sophia's words. I wanted to reply, do you know who I am? But as soon as I typed, my phone showed that I was blocked by Sophia. Seeing this scene, I couldn't help but sigh in my heart, Sophia. Do you really think I am just a small agent beside you? If one day you know that I am the heir of Michael's family group, don't kneel down and beg me. Just as I was fantasizing about Sophia seeing me one day in the future. What a pitiful time it will be. Suddenly my mother called me. She must have received a letter from her assistant. Once again, I finally made up my mind to separate from Sophia. So this time my mother called. She sounded particularly happy. She said happily on the phone. Son. Since you have made up your mind to separate from Sophia, then your mother will introduce you to someone. The girl from Ava's mother's family. Just came back from abroad. Please go to Tianchi Hotel to meet me at noon. I didn't want to go. But the mother mentioned Ava's mother's daughter Ava. It's the slug who followed me and called me brother when I was a kid. I immediately became interested. Anyway, right now. I was just fired by Sophia. There's nothing to do. Why not go meet this childhood playmate? I go. Give me the address. Good. Just go. When you passed by. Change clothes. Make a good impression on Ms. Ava. My mother repeatedly reminded me on the phone. I said yes. I will definitely change into some luxurious clothes to meet Ava. But when I turned around, I put on the cheap suit I bought from Taobao for over 100 yuan. After all, in my dictionary, clothes just need to be comfortable. But what I never expected was, when I got dressed and was ready to go out, my mother has already appointed a housekeeper. He brought a group of servants to the hotel where I was staying. Housekeeper, what are you doing? As soon as the butler entered the door, he immediately began to direct the servants behind him. Start changing my clothes. Design your hair. It turns out my mom had already guessed that I wouldn't change clothes. So I sent the clothes directly to the hotel. Even a hairstylist came to me. Just a quarter of an hour. My image immediately received a comprehensive upgrade. Before, I was probably just a little follower of Sophia. A small agent running around. What about me in the mirror now? But he truly became the prince of Michael's family group. Master. My wife asked me to drive all 20 sports cars in the garage into the hotel's underground parking lot. Here are the pictures. Which one do you like? I asked someone to drive to the hotel entrance. Finished my outfit. The butler brought another tablet. Let me choose which sports car to drive when I go out. I looked through the photos of 20 sports cars. One is more high profile than the other. I don't really want to. But the housekeeper said it was my mother's request. I can't lose my identity as a member of Michael's family. I had no choice but to pick the cheapest Ferrari and drive out. When I'm ready to go out. The time has already pointed to 9 o'clock. And what about Sophia at this time? But she was still flirting with the movie star in the hotel. She snuggled in the arms of actor David. Tell the actor what movie you will be working on next with the director. Can I play the leading female role? David didn't even think about it. I nodded and agreed. He patted his chest and said that the relationship between me and the director is just a matter of words. Rest assured. It's on me. Listen to David. Sophia is even happier. She threw herself on David. I still want to have sex with David. But when David thought about the appointment he had with the director at noon to discuss the script on the first floor of the hotel, he still rejected Sophia's initiative. Baby. I have an appointment with the director. We'll talk about the script at 11 o'clock. I'm going to read the script first. Please let me be quiet for a while. Good. You read the script. I'll bring you breakfast. Sophia is very active now. She was hoping that David and the director would make it happen. Finally, let's talk about her. Half an hour later. I rushed to Tianchi Hotel. I was planning to go straight in. But as soon as my car stopped at the lobby door, immediately, a large group of young girls in fancy dress came up to him. I know these people. They are just a bunch of gold diggers. Want to marry a rich man all day long. When I saw these people, I was also shocked. I immediately drove my car and hid in the supermarket parking lot opposite the hotel. I waited until the butler drove my previous Volkswagen worth more than 100,000 yuan to. I just changed to Volkswagen. Back to the hotel. As my car pulled into the hotel. When you were about to park in the parking space closest to the elevator, suddenly a familiar figure appeared in front of me. This person is not someone else. It was my ex-girlfriend Sophia. She saw me coming. He immediately yelled at me. I told you this morning that if you don't come in 10 minutes, get out of here. What are you doing now? Seeing Sophia's face. I'm too lazy to talk nonsense with her. Just let her get out of the way. I need to park. But who would have thought? The man wearing sunglasses who has been hiding behind Sophia. But walked out. He took out 100 yuan and handed it to me and said very casually. I bought this parking space. Please park your car further away. If someone else. See $100. I will definitely give in. But who am I? The only heir to the Michael family group. His net worth has already exceeded 10 billion. What's more, the person who took out $100 to let me give up my parking space was not someone else. It was none other than the actor David. Seeing this couple. Let me give up my parking space. I definitely disagree a million times. I took out a stack of $1 bills from the car. Hit David in the face and said, you are rich. Only you can. I have money too. Pick up the money now. Get out of here now. After spending money, I immediately closed the car window. Drive directly into the parking space. And Sophia. At first, he refused to give way. Until she saw that I had no intention of braking. When he was about to rush towards her, Sophia finally couldn't help but jump away. After dodging, Sophia yelled at me through the window. And what about the actor David? But with a gloomy face. Haven't spoken a word. I don't bother to care about this couple. After parking the car, go up the elevator. After I leave. David asked Sophia, this person is your former manager, right? Sophia nodded and said it was him. This guy is very bad. You must ban him from the entire industry. David nodded. Pull out the cell phone from your pocket. I called my agent. Let him get to know an agent named Michael. It would be best to block all of Michael's resources in the industry. David is a top artist in the industry. As soon as he spoke, the people under him. I took action immediately. And at this time, the director's car also drove over. Sophia and David tidied each other's appearance. I ran over immediately. Director. Excuse me. There is no parking space at the elevator entrance. Maybe you should park farther away. The director has a quirk. I don't like to let the driver drive when I go out. They are all open directly by themselves. That's why David personally brought Sophia downstairs today to save a parking space for the director. But who could have thought? Michael shows up at the last minute. Just occupied the parking space. The director doesn't care. Following David's guidance. Park the car a little distance from the elevator. And at this time, David and Sophia jogged along. My forehead started to sweat. They both hated Michael very much. If Michael hadn't intervened. Why are they so embarrassed in front of the director today? But the director didn't care. He only cares whether David has fully understood the role in the script. Let's go upstairs. I understand. I want to communicate with you. David signaled Sophia to go to the front and press the elevator button. And me. At this time, I was waiting for Ava in the lobby on the first floor. According to the time given by my mother, Ava should have arrived at the hotel by now. But I waited and waited. Ava is nowhere to be seen. And as I looked around, I happened to see Sophia and David walking over with a white-bearded old man. When I saw Sophia, Sophia saw me too. She started frowning when she saw me. And me. I don't want to have anything to do with her right now. I just lowered my head and played with my phone. And Sophia saw me looking down at my phone. I thought I was a coward. Finally, she deliberately led the old man with white beard to the seat next to mine. In front of me. The three began a heated discussion. I heard three people chatting. I just found out that this old man with white beard is actually a famous director in the industry. He is planning a historical blockbuster. I want David to be the male lead. And David is worthy of being the best actor. He mentioned his understanding of the role. It is indeed very insightful. Soon the director showed a satisfied smile on his face. And hearing about David's matter will be. My chest feels like it's blocked. I immediately took out my phone. I called my cousin who works at Michael's entertainment company. Ask him if he knows that the director is planning a historical blockbuster. When my cousin on the other end of the phone heard this, I immediately asked my assistant to investigate. Just a few minutes. My cousin called me back. That's indeed the case. And the director of this play. It happens to be led by Michael Entertainment. As soon as I heard the director's play, it was my own leader. I immediately came to my mind. I told my cousin to call the director. Let's say we are planning to invest another 100 million in this play. But the male lead needs to be replaced. What? My cousin heard me. I can't believe it. After all, I just supported Sophia as the heroine before. Why am I still holding up a man now? Cousin, you don't have a problem with your sexual orientation now, do you? My cousin said. I couldn't help but curse on the phone. And it was this curse of mine. Sophia next to him actually heard it. She said casually that on such occasions. How can there be such a low person? David next to him heard it. Nodding in agreement. He even made a move. Called the waiter over. Let the waiter drive me away. I saw the waiter coming. I immediately told my cousin to call. Andrew is the male lead. Our company will add another 100 million yuan, let's do it quickly. Finished. I hung up the phone. And at this time, the waiter came up to me. Asked me to leave immediately. I don't want to embarrass the waiter. Instead, he said directly to Sophia and the others, if I don't leave. What can you do to me? David as the best actor. Wherever I go, I am always surrounded by people. I was humiliated twice in front of me today. Especially now that the director is here. He stood up immediately. Walked up to me and said to me, I am still talking to you nicely. If you piss me off, don't blame me for being rude to you. The director on the side thought David was making a big deal out of nothing. This is a hotel after all. Anyone can talk and chat. There's no need to be unhappy. But Sophia chimed in. She pointed at me and said this guy just took our parking space. Now he is deliberately going against us. Hearing Sophia's words, the director couldn't say anything more. Our movements soon attracted the attention of the hotel lobby manager. When he came over, he found that it was the movie star David who had a conflict with someone here. He doesn't care about anything. I immediately ordered the security team to send 2 people over. Ask me out. Sophia saw the security guard coming. He immediately pointed at me and laughed, saying, "Don't come to this kind of place to cause trouble in the future. You are just an ordinary worker. This is not the place for you." Sophia then took David to sit down. I hope David will continue to talk to the director about her. This gentleman. Please. 2 security guards. Let me get out now. And me. But I remembered that the manager of this Tianchi hotel seemed to be my cousin's assistant general manager. So I asked the lobby manager to give me the hotel manager's phone number. When the lobby manager heard that I wanted to call their manager, I thought I was going to cause trouble. Immediately a glance down. Just let 2 security guards take me away. I wanted to struggle. But when I saw that it was my cousin's assistant general manager who came out of the elevator, I immediately called the general manager. The general manager shouted loudly. Almost everyone in the hall heard it, including Sophia and David and others. Everyone thought I was just yelling a random name. But who would have thought? The one who just hugged the 2 beauties' waists and kissed them on the left side. The hotel manager on the right. At this time. But he ran towards me. The lobby manager saw the general manager coming. He immediately shouted to the security guard beside him, "What are you still standing there for? Take the person away." But just as the security guard was about to take action, the general manager, whom I call the general manager, already in front of me, he said to me respectfully, "Michael, how come you have time to come to our hotel today?" I heard the general manager call me Michael. The lobby manager, who just wanted to kick me out, was completely dumbfounded. The 2 security guards who had been standing next to me, I was so scared that my legs went limp. The 2 of them didn't care that the lobby manager was still here. He immediately ran away like a fly. And what I will say next. The lobby manager was completely shocked. Because I told the general manager that your lobby manager said, "I don't deserve to be here." I want to ask you, do I deserve it? Upon hearing this, the general manager slapped the lobby manager in the face. And what about the lobby manager? I was so scared that my legs went limp. Kneel down and apologize to me immediately. But what about me? But I'm too lazy to argue with this lobby manager. I turned around and looked at David and the other 2 who were still chatting. Then I said to the lobby manager behind me, "Go over here and disgust me, David. Today's matter is over." When the lobby manager heard what I said, I looked at my general manager again. Finally he mustered up the courage. Walked towards David and others. I saw the lobby manager walking towards me. David was also curious. And that lobby manager is really fierce. He walked up to David. "Just tell him, Mr. David. The hotel clerk just told me. Last night, a bottle of top-grade French essential oil disappeared from the SPA room on the 2nd floor. Did you take it?" David suddenly heard this. I was stunned immediately. He asked the lobby manager, "Do you know who I am? Why do I hold a bottle of essential oil?" Sophia on the side also chimed in. "Are you guys mistaken? We went to the 2nd floor for SPA last night. But I didn't take any essential oils." But the next sentence from the lobby manager completely left David speechless. Because the lobby manager said, "Just now when our hotel waiter went to clean your room, I found that bottle of essential oil and now you have to pay an extra 18,000 yuan. As soon as the lobby manager said this, David's expression changed immediately. He didn't know what happened to the bottle of essential oil. But he was sure of one thing. That means he was tricked. But now the director is in front of. He is not good at turning his face. So he just agreed. "Michael, are you satisfied?" The lobby manager came back to report to me. I couldn't help but say hello to him. And the general manager was finally happy to see me. He also asked the lobby manager to leave. Then the general manager asked me why I came here today. If there is no arrangement, let him arrange it. Definitely good service. I shook my head. Because I already saw my childhood friend Ava coming towards me. Go take care of your own things first. I have other things to do today. I let the general manager go first. The general manager saw that I was a beautiful woman. He no longer bothers me. Withdrew immediately. Before the general manager left, he emphasized one thing to the lobby manager again. "That means you must serve me well. I give you what I want. Don't make me unhappy. The lobby manager was a little puzzled. The general manager directly told him my identity. He is the prince of Michael's family group. If you offend him, you know the consequences. Michael's brother. Is that you? When Sharo saw me, he rushed towards me immediately. And I see Sharo is still so enthusiastic. A bit unbearable. I immediately said to Sharo, why are you still the same as when you were little? We've all grown up. Keep some distance. But who knew that Sharo smiled and said, didn't I tell you when I was a child? You will always be my brother. I'm going to marry you when I grow up. Sharo appears. Suddenly everyone in the hall looked over here. Indeed, no matter where Sharo goes. All in focus. Not only because she looks sweet. The most important thing is her temperament and laughter. It really catches your eye. David, the director, and others were also attracted by Ava. Especially the director. He looked at Ava with eyes that seemed to have discovered something about Bao. Sophia saw that both men were staring at Ava in my arms. She couldn't help but pinch David beside her. Let him quickly tell her to let him play the leading female role. But before David could speak, the director has stood up. Walked towards me and Ava. 2. Sorry to bother you. My director is a director. Now planning a historical drama. The play is still missing a female lead. I think this lady's image and temperament are just right for. I wonder if the lady is willing to talk to me. I heard that the director actually chose the girl next to me. Sophia immediately became anxious. She stood up and said to the director, I've also read your script. I think I am more suitable for your female lead. I hope you can give me a chance. After saying that, Sophia didn't forget to pinch David next to her. I hope he can help too. David. It also gives Sophia face. He also spoke a few good words for Sophia. Just a director. But I kept staring at Ava next to me. It seems that he didn't hear what Sophia and David said at all. Seeing this scene, I feel secretly happy. And Ava also turned down the director's offer. She said directly, I am not an actor. I'm not interested in acting. You should find someone else. After saying that, Ava wanted to take my hand and leave. But what about the director? But still not giving up. He pulled a business card from his pocket. Handed it to Ava and said, if you have thought about it, call me anytime. I will definitely keep this female lead for you. Ava holds this business card. I wanted to throw it away directly. But he took the business card in front of Sophia. After all, seeing Sophia's look of astonishment, I feel so happy. Next, Ava and I sat on the sofa where I sat before and chatted. The director. David 3. Although I sat back in my original position. But everyone can see that the director is no longer in the mood to chat with David and others. But in the end the director relented. That means David will be the male lead. As for the female lead? Impossible to give Sophia. But for David's sake, Sophia can be given a second female role. Although Sophia was a little dissatisfied with the result. But she had no other choice at this moment. Soon. It's 12 o'clock. Ava and I ordered some simple meals. Ate in the lobby. David, who was having a great time chatting with the director, was planning to invite him out for dinner. But the director has something wrong. Want to leave. Wait until David and Sophia send the director away together. David and Sophia actually came back. Sophia walked over to Ava and me and pointed at the noodles on our table and said, Michael, are you so poor that you treat a girl to this kind of food in a 5-star hotel? Are you ashamed? Ava heard this for the first time. I still don't understand the situation. So I didn't speak. And David? But he stood in front of Ava and said, Miss, I ordered a seafood dinner on the 3rd floor. I wonder if the lady is interested in dining with me on the 3rd floor. When Ava heard David's words, I immediately shook my head and said no. What's good about seafood dinner? I like to eat fried noodles. Sophia listened. With a sneer on his face, he asked Ava where this rural girl came from. I'm afraid you've never had a seafood dinner in your life. I give you a chance but I don't know how to cherish it. As soon as Sophia said this, I haven't lost my temper yet. Who knew Ava had already thrown a glass of water at Sophia? She pointed at Sophia and yelled, Get lost. Don't disturb my brother and I from having dinner here. Sophia was splashed with a glass of water. Jump up immediately. Prepare to fight with Ava. And I. He stopped Sophia and said to her, I advise you to leave quickly. If you mess with someone you shouldn't mess with, you will have to bear the consequences at your own risk. David. Are you still standing? See me, I'm going to take action. Sophia started to call David behind her. I hope he comes to help. But what about David? But I saw an angel-eye gem hanging on Ava's neck. If he remembered correctly. This gem is worth 100 million. It was bought by Ava's family consortium at a charity gala last week. After David saw this gem, I immediately pulled Sophia. Even whispered to Sophia. Let her go first. Sophia jumped. I still want to come and fight Ava. David is also afraid of accidents. I had to forcefully pull Sophia away. After the two of them left, Ava asked me if this woman was the Sophia I had spent the past 5 years advocating. I nodded. Acknowledge that this woman is Sophia. Ava sighed and said. I have always heard uncles and aunts say. You're like crazy. Pretend to be a normal person. Playing with a little star every day. Even spent money to pave the way for this female star. I used to think this female star was a goddess. I didn't expect it to be just an ordinary item. Ava said this. I'm a bit embarrassed. Now think back. I'm a bit stupid indeed. As the prince of a billionaire group, the most indispensable thing around me is women. But I just want to have a normal love affair. Just pretend to be an ordinary person. Playing pure love. Finally the money was spent. Resources are also given. This woman turned around and climbed into someone else's bed. Think about it, I'm really a bitch. But it's okay. You are awake now. It's not too late. And I ask you one thing. Do you have that? Ava looked at me and said. I rolled my eyes at Ava speechlessly. Who do you think I am? Hear me say this. Ava was completely speechless. She said with a smile, brother. You are truly a pure love warrior. I've been with that woman for 5 years. There's no bed. Actually, it's not that I'm naive. But Sophia is such a good liar. She keeps trying to trick me into wanting a clean relationship. I want to save the best of myself when I get married. Let's not talk about this anymore. Let's talk about your next plans. Now that you've left Sophia, you should come back to take over the Michael family group. Your uncle and aunt have been hoping you would come back. I listened to Ava. Nodded. After all, I was with Sophia before. So there is no time. It's okay now. It's time to restore my status as the crown prince. Started to gallop in the business empire. What is the first thing you plan to do when you return? I heard AI is very popular. Our family also participated. Otherwise, do it with our family. I waved my hand. Not for Ava. I am most familiar with the entertainment industry. I plan to make Michael Entertainment bigger and stronger. Ava saw the murderous intent in my eyes. Of course she knew what I meant. Yes. That's right. I'm here for revenge. I want to wipe out Sophia and David in the entertainment industry. The other side. David and Sophia are having dinner on the 3rd floor. Sophia was scolding me and Ava. She was questioning David why he didn't come up to help her. And David? He lowered his head to check something. Until he found out on the internet that Ava was the only daughter of the Ava family consortium. He was stunned instantly. Immediately. He threw the phone to Sophia. Tell her you are in big trouble. Come downstairs quickly and apologize to Ms. Ava with me. Sophia didn't understand what David meant at first. Until she saw the photo on her phone was exactly that of Ms. Ava. Sophia's legs also became weak. What's going on? How could Michael be so cheerful and chatty with such a rich lady? Sophia is puzzled. David had already stood up and was ready to go downstairs to apologize to Ms. Ava. Although he is the actor. Although he is the top. But in the face of this capital. He is nothing. Sophia didn't want to go. After all, apologizing in front of Michael. It's so embarrassing. But David forced her to go downstairs. She could only follow. But when David and Sophia arrived on the 1st floor. But I found that Ava and I had left. I missed the chance to apologize. David sighed to Sophia and said, You're going to kill me sooner or later. Finished. David also ignored Sophia. I went back to my room and packed my things. I immediately drove away from here. At 1 p.m. Sophia was still sitting in the nanny car, calling David nonstop. After waiting for half a day, David finally called Sophia back. David said to Sophia, Look at the trending searches. You are on fire today. Sophia heard David's words. I immediately opened my phone and looked through the news on the internet. As soon as I saw the hot search terms, Sophia was immediately stunned. Because the top 10 hot search terms are all statements from certain brands announcing the termination of their contract with Sophia. And as these big brands jointly issued a statement to terminate the contract, Other small brands that did not receive the news also immediately followed suit and issued a statement. Everyone suspected that something happened to Sophia. Otherwise, how could the brand terminate the contract with Sophia? Sophia only remembered to call me at this time. The first call she made was to ask me what was going on. Why did these brands terminate my contract when I didn't do anything? I heard Sophia's questioning voice on the phone. I smiled at her in a very calm tone and said, "You don't really think that you signed these brands by your own ability, right? Without me, who will care about you?" Sophia listened to me, furious on the phone. I'm too lazy to talk nonsense with Sophia. I hung up the phone right away. Continued to hold the doll with Ava. After a while, Sophia called me again and asked me why her credit card was frozen. I still replied casually, "It's very simple. You didn't pay your credit card bill last month. It's normal to be frozen today. Where's my money? Where's my money? Did you swallow them all?" Sophia thinks I took the money she made. Swallowed it all. But what Sophia didn't know was, with her lavish spending personality, if I hadn't covered her up normally, she's already bankrupt. I hung up the phone again. Another 5 minutes passed. Sophia asked me why she couldn't get into her villa. I told her that you didn't buy this villa. Of course you can't get in. Ava was listening beside me. She knew I had done so much for Sophia. I couldn't help but sigh. How can you be the pure love god of war? You are a super licker. After listening to Ava, I can only smile. There is no way to refute it. 1 week later, I appeared at the family's press conference. At this press conference, my father, in front of everyone, I have publicly announced that I will take over as president of the Michael family. Some media asked why there was so little news about me before. My father looked at me. I want to experience the life of an ordinary person. So it was not announced to the public. The moment I was announced as the group president, I saw Sophia walking towards me. She is dressed beautifully today. Like when I first met her. I saw her coming. The first reaction was to ask the security manager next to him, "Who let this person in?" The security manager's face changed when he saw me and he immediately explained to me that she was your friend. "She even took out your previous photo and I let her in." I have a bad tone. "Tell the security guard next to you to leave. Not everyone can come in here." Sophia cried when she heard what I said. She walked up to me. "Kneel down and tell me I was wrong." I was really wrong. I was wrong all along. I didn't expect that you had done so much for me in these 5 years. I really know I regret it. Let's get married. I love you. I heard Sophia was going to marry me. Not only did my face change, but my dad who was standing next to me. My mother's face changed as well. But at this moment another woman appeared. She is Ava. She walked straight up to me, put her arm around my shoulders, and said to Sophia who was kneeling in front of me, "I'm sorry, you're a step late." Such an innocent boy. I have already obtained the certificate. Ava took out a marriage certificate from her bag. The moment I saw the marriage certificate, Sophia still didn't give up. She kept looking into my eyes and said, "I know you love me. Let's stay together. Just like before." But this time But without any hesitation, he said to the security guard beside him, "What are you waiting for? No one is welcome to leave." Follow up. Early the next morning. I just got up. The assistant just called. He told me. Male protagonist Andrew. Ava. When the two of them appeared, it sparked a topic. Of course, some sharp-eyed viewers also discovered that the actor David only played a gangster who did all kinds of evil in this blockbuster. The previously popular actress Sophia only played a prostitute in this blockbuster. Some fans feel sorry for the two and think the director made a bad choice of casting. You shouldn't deliberately discuss these two stars. But David quickly posted on Weibo saying that he was very grateful to the director for the opportunity. "I cherish this role too. Where is Sophia?" He also immediately expressed his opinion. She said she really likes the role of a prostitute because it is very challenging. Ava saw the comments between the two people on the internet and asked me what means I used. Let the two of them say such unspeakable words. I hugged Ava. I smiled at her and said, "It's very simple. I bought the companies behind both of them. Now I ask them to play gangsters. Let them play prostitutes. After all, money talks." "You are so bad." Ha 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 ha.